Hi, everybody. Happy Halloween. This is a live MOX-NEWS call-in show. Everyone is welcome to call. It is a toll number, but most everybody has free long distance these days. So, and the number is 805 MOX-NEWS or 805-669-6397. That's 805-669-6397. So hopefully we have sorted out the issue with the phone, and we'll figure that out soon. Hopefully we'll get a caller and they'll be like, "Hey, Moxie." I'll be like, "Hey, dude." So if you're interested in, if you have any questions, if you got anything going on cool for Halloween, if you want to share your favorite scary movie, I have a couple recommendations for scary movies. I think John Carpenter's They Live is amazing. Is an amazing movie, and it holds up really well. I mean, it's like 30 years old or something, and it holds up really well. In fact, it might even be more important now than it was when it was originally made. And V for Vendetta, I watched that the other day, and the part where like the cops are talking about how they're calling the demolition, the explosion, an emergency demolition. When they said that they were the police in V for Vendetta, when they said we're calling it an emergency demolition, we're talking about Lady Justice, when it blows up Lady Justice, and the police are telling the public it was an emergency demolition. I almost bit my tongue off because it reminded me of something that happened in this country not so long ago. Hello? Is there anybody out there? Can you people hear me? I can't tell. There's no one in the chat room. It says we're live. You can't hear me? You can't hear me? Really? Chuck, you can't hear me? You can't hear the words coming out of my mouth? Hey, I got a call. All right, let's try this. See what happens. Hello, caller.
Hey, guy.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You have made my day. I love your the way you do the news and your clips. And you just, when I turned over and I seen it live with a call in, I said, I got to call you and tell you how I love what you do, the way you do. You have a love of truth.
I have a love of freedom. And, you know, truth goes hand in hand with freedom. There's this perfection to freedom. And that's that if you're not truthful in your freedom, it will come through. People will realize that about you. But if you're not free, then, you know, it's hard to be, the truthful thing. It's like everybody's kind of pretending if you're not free. It's like, oh no, we don't do that, but you really do. Oh no, we don't feel that way, but you really do, but they repress it all because they're not free. So what's your name?
I'm Buddy.
Hey buddy, nice to hear from you. Are you going
Good to hear from you.
Are you going trick-or-treating tonight?
No, I don't celebrate. I don't celebrate that, and I don't get down with it. I don't even like this time of year leading up to this. It's just ridiculous. I can understand
The holidays, the holidays in
well,
general, or
it's the way that they promote it, and it took the fun out of it. I raised children in the '80s, and they're all grown now, but I just don't take a part in it no more.
yeah, it's the world has become a strange place.
That it has, but you are a light to a lot of people, and I know you've been shadow banned as I have, and you throttled back as I have, and you don't have the audience you once had, and I know one day it will come back.
I just got to keep up the good fight, and I feel the same way that truth will prevail, as you're saying.
Yeah, and it's a thing that we've got to, sometimes just sit back and just have faith. I'm not religious. I'm not anything but spiritual, and I woke up in my being, and I know you are awake too. I see it in your love and eyes, and the way you speak about freedom. Freedom is when I met a Christ conscious being that was so illuminated. He was so perfect. He was like 90 years old when I met him. And one of the first things he told me after we talked about, how phony religion is, he said, I got a lot to tell you, but I'm going to just say, be free. And I knew what he meant, and I know what you mean. But now, me and you convince the world of what being free means? It's not easy.
I think what we have to convince the world of is that is who the real enemy is, who the real enemy of the freedom is. That's it, because what's happening is people see their freedom being attacked from all angles. And what happens is they pick an angle and they go, oh, this is horrible. These people are horrible. These people are limiting my freedom. But it's all angles. It's all the politicians equally are see your freedom as a threat. They are not about your freedom. They are about limiting it in every way possible.
Well, yeah, it's the left. I never understood this, even from being a young man, a young boy, growing up. I was dyslexic, so I just really had a hard time getting, and I was developmentally delayed. So by the time I finally caught up with what was left and right, and I still didn't understand it, but I heard a phrase. It don't matter if it's left or right. It's the same wings on a bird. Yeah. And that bird is the root of all of our problems, because it has separated us from the reality that we're a republic. We never really had a chance in this, in this timeline to learn in our school systems what they learned before the corruption started at the turn of the century. This thing's been going on for a lot longer than that. But there was a time when people were really educated on the Constitution and on the reality of world affairs. And they had great books and everybody could read. And I hear people say, buddy, that ain't true. People were so poor and never couldn't afford books. Well, there were some very smart people 200 years ago, 100 years ago. And they some dumb people now.
Books have been around a long, long time, buddy, and they've been very popular ever since they've been around. So
Yeah, and people that really understand what's going on now and are seeking for truth, they go to the internet, and the internet is the glitch in the matrix. It's that little cat that walked through that scene, where Neo said, hold on. That's what the internet is, and that's why they're fighting us so hard, and that's why they come after you and come after other people. There's so many light type. I don't like to use the word light workers, but there's so many beautiful, conscious people that are awakening to this freedom that you are and I am, and they've been done a disservice by, taking their channels away and demonetizing them and all this stuff and all that. But the glitch is that we are able to still change this timeline for the better. And whatever they seem to do, we bust it out so quickly.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're getting to where we're calling them out on their lies really fast. And again, that's this whole freedom thing that I'm talking about, the perfection of freedom. If you're able to, if we're not all separated and we understand who the enemy is, it's easy to see. Like right now, you're going to see this big push for censorship of freedom of speech. You're going to see a big push for it, and we've been seeing it for some time, but it's going to get really big now, and it's going to be on both sides. It's not going to be the right. It's not going to be the left. Both sides are going to be pushing to censor your speech because your speech is dangerous unless we limit it. Buddy, thanks a bunch for calling, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Isn't he nice? See, that's why I love doing these call-in shows, because it becomes so apparent that everybody is really nice. You're not all these trolls that just want to hate on each other. Hello, caller.
Hey, Michael, this is Daniel from Ohio. Thank you for accepting my call.
Hey, Daniel, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I was excited to see you were doing a call-in show. This is a great idea, so thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
I'm just trying to do what's right. This is what I know how to do, and if it makes a little bit of difference, then I figure that I'm doing the right thing.
Well, I would say that you are. Of course, you're an example to all of us. Most of us look at your channel and what you do, and we're probably a little bit of ashamed because we can't figure out how to be quite the person that you are and all the stuff that you do. And I've been a long time watcher of your channel. I know there's a lot of people who have been too, but yeah, I mean, you're kind of a hero in the background, and so thank you.
Well, thank you. It's really super nice of you to say. I'm just a simple guy trying to do what's right. And trying to encourage everybody else to do what's right too. Trying to make clear again who the enemy is. People want to act like everybody is their enemy. They're all full of so much rage and anger, and they're just looking for somewhere to just vent it out, like a volcano, and it just goes out on all these different directions. And what I keep trying to show people through my channel is that these people are the enemy. These are the people trying to take your freedom, and these are the people that are fighting for it. And it's so hard because it seems like people don't really appreciate the ideal of freedom anymore,
Well, I agree. I mean, I think we've lost that ideal, generations ago, perhaps. Did you see the interview by chance a couple days ago? There was I'm not in alignment with these guys really at all, but Scott Adams, that Dilbert cartoon creator, and Ben Shapiro did an interview. It was like an hour-long interview. Did you happen to catch that?
No, I didn't. But I'm familiar with Doug Adams. I mean,
yeah. Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Scott Adams.
Scott Adams. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Dilbert guy.
Yeah. So it kind of seems like a nice guy, but basically he put out this postulate in this interview. He basically said, look, he said, by the next election, we won't elect our next president. The algorithms of the social media will elect our next president. And he said that in the first 30 minutes of an hour-long interview. And for me, that was real troubling. And my perspective was, well, we're already halfway there. We already have, Operation Mockingbird. We already have propaganda. We already are, swimming in a sea of bullshit and nonsense. And, but his postulate was that for the next president, the algorithms will be so tuned in that literally people will basically believe everything they hear on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or whatever. And, I think we're already most of the way there. The interesting thing is his perspective is that was a good thing. Later on, what's his name? Ben Shapiro, who I'm not a big fan of either of these guys, but I like to hear what people have to say.
Sure.
And Ben Shapiro was like, well, doesn't that freak you out that we're not thinking? And he's like, well, no, because Americans are stupid as F. And so, yeah, maybe the algorithm's going to pick a better path for us than what we're going to pick for ourselves because we're a bunch of stupid sheep. And anyway, it was really depressing to hear the whole thing, basically. But there's a level of truth to what he's saying. And so,
but I don't think that people are stupid sheep. If I thought that people were stupid sheep, I wouldn't do what it is that I do.
Well, no, but so you're breaking paradigms. That's the point. Is we need people like you. We need people to open their mouth. We need people to break the programming, to kind of step outside of like the MSNBC and, you know, just the memes that go on and actually talk real base. That's why this call-in show is so cool, is because you're allowing people to actually talk and discuss and whatever. But so for example, the wife the other day, she's on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. She's on Facebook, and somebody's, you know, regurgitating some retarded meme that's not true. And my wife, you know, kindly says to them, well, you know, this probably isn't true at all. You need to check your facts. This is nonsense. And they came back to her and they said, oh my goodness, you know, I did check into this, and you're right, it is a bunch of nonsense. You know, we need more people who lovingly wrap their arms around their brother and say, okay, guys, we need to start thinking here. We can't just follow these memes that we read on Facebook off of a cliff together, you know, because that's kind of what we've been doing, it seems like. Anyway,
it's a bandwagon thing, you know. People want to be part of something, so when they see a meme start to take off, they're all, oh, I get that, you know, and they want to be part of something. It's a big part of what it. And that's where we're all missing, because if we could all just see that that we are part of something, we're all Americans, you know, we're all U.S. citizens, and we're all humans, and we all love freedom, you know, and if we could just get that together, like feel it in our hearts, understand it to be true, and then move together to make the world what we want. But they all have us separated down into these little boxes, and so angry and overworked, and you know, it's just so busy that you can't even, I mean, it seems like people's short-term memory is about, you know, a day long now, you know.
It's true. I mean, everything you say is true. Hey, let me ask you really quick. I missed the beginning part of your show, but I see you wearing this really awesome headdress and stuff. Is that like a Halloween thing, or is that like it's pretty cool? But I was just wondering.
My roommate had it out in the garage for Halloween. He's a bartender. He's gonna be wearing it later tonight. I was like, I gotta put that on. Pharaoh commands you to call now.
Well, I think it's awesome. I think it's very good and appropriate for headdress.
So. What'd you say your name is?
Daniel from Ohio.
Hey, Daniel.
Long time on your channel, and I appreciate everything that you do. And you know, I support you, so I appreciate it.
Right on, Daniel.
You know, the great thing about you, and I mean, there's a lot of good things about you, but I love your message of peace. You know, that someday the wars will end, and I think that's the unifying message. I think that's the unifying message is, you know, stop locking each other up over, you know, I mean, the fact that we've locked up so many people in this country over carrying a plant, you know, it's just so much nonsense, you know, and we're destroying Libya and Syria and, you know, Iraq, Afghanistan. I mean, just the nonsense, the dollars that we pay in our tax money to support utter nonsense is mind-boggling. And so I think a lot of us come from different spectrums of, you know, ideologies, but ultimately your ideology of some days these wars must end is, I think, the powerful ideology that we all need to align behind, you know, the police state, the deep state, all of that. Anyway, so that's I think where you're really strong, and that's where I really stand behind you. And, you know, I don't know that we agree on everything, but I think we agree on what matters. And I think that's important.
Right on, Daniel. I really appreciate the support, and I'm glad you called. It's nice to hear from you.
Okay, likewise. Bless you, Mox. Have a good day.
Okay, thanks a bunch. And this is what I keep saying. You guys are clearly very intelligent people. Those two callers are aware beings. Hello, caller. How are you today?
Whoa, is this Moxie?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Oh, my God, dude. I can't believe I'm talking to you.
What's your name?
I'm Malcolm.
Malcolm, nice to hear from you.
Dude, I couldn't be more excited. I mean, if I met Jake Tapper in the street, dude, I wouldn't give a shit, but it's pretty much awesome to talk to you.
Jake Tapper's a jackass.
So, man, like at times, you know, he comes off like when you're watching CNN a lot, like I know you do.
Yeah.
You got to pick your poison, right?
Yeah.
And like it seems like he's not the worst on CNN, but
he's a jackass. I got a hard on for Jake Tapper, man. He's talks shit about stoners, you know. He's like,
yeah.
you know, I mean, it's just like, oh, pot smokers just lay on the couch and never do anything. I published 65,000 fucking videos on YouTube. Fuck that guy, you know.
Man, he's a phony. He's just, I don't know, dude. I wanted to talk to you about a bunch of things. I mean, I've always like watched your show. I love watching your breakdowns when you get in front of the camera because you always have interesting opinions. But dude, I was wondering if I could ask you this: why is it that you usually take Palestine over Israel in like that debate? Like, I don't know enough about the subject, but do you think there's something malevolent behind Israel's government? Do you think that they're like
there's a $1 trillion natural gas reserve off the coast of Gaza. All Israel wants to do is wipe Gaza off the map so that they can go and tap into that natural gas reserve. That makes sense? You're breaking up real bad, dude. I can't make out what you're saying at all. Hope it's not my phone. Thanks a bunch for calling. I'm going to go on to next caller. All right. And again, this is what I'm saying. Intelligent person, super nice. This is who MOX viewers are. I don't look at you guys and call you sheep. I don't say you're asleep. You're intelligent people. That's what has drawn you to MOX-NEWS, because you're intelligent people seeking knowledge. And MOX-NEWS provides a stream of bits of knowledge, a never-ending stream that flows every day, day after day, providing more and more bits of knowledge. And it'd be really nice if I could get a little more support from my community. I mean, it's nice to hear the good words and everything, but I've spent tens of thousands of hours, you know, trying to do the right thing by this community. And I get less than 1/10 of, 1% of support back from people, you know. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to make this happen and to make it be a worthwhile endeavor. And when you hear the callers, they're like, I love what you do. And I know that you guys do. You appreciate what it is that I do, but somehow it doesn't transfer into, hey, Moxie deserves a tip. I mean, I've published 65,000 videos on YouTube. Moxie deserves a tip. Videos intended to raise awareness, not videos for Republicans, not videos for Democrats, videos for everyone, videos for intelligent people, videos for people seeking knowledge, trying to do the right thing by you and your family and your friends and this country and this planet and this human race. Day after day after day. And all I've ever asked is for like $5. If you could buy me a cheap lunch, $5. If I could have 1% of the 100,000 people that are here tip me 1% once a year. Say, you know what, Mox deserves a little something. I I wouldn't have to ask. If 1% of you once a year, it'd be nice if you could do it once a month, but if you did it once a year, there's in the text body of every single video, it says, Mox News survives solely on tips and donations from good people like you. It's easy to do. It takes 2 minutes to give something back to Mox. Mox gives and gives and gives to you. And you can hear in the callers, that they understand. I'm trying so hard to do the right thing. Not the right thing for me, the right thing by you and this planet and everyone on it. And this is a live call-in show, so the telephone number is 805-669-6397. That's 805 Mox News. 805-669-6397. And if no one's calling, it's not very exciting because what I've always said about doing this is that you are what makes it worthwhile. You are what makes the videos worthwhile. You are what makes the call-in shows worthwhile. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, hello.
Hi, are you on live?
I'm on live. Are you on live?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm live. All right.
Right on.
Hi, my name's Roger.
Hey, Roger.
Hey, I was wondering, are you at Ventura County?
I'm in King County.
Okay, you must be using
oh yeah, and that's my Google
805 area code.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. I grew up in San Luis Obispo.
Oh, okay. So that's still Ventura. No, that's actually Santa Barbara County. Okay.
It used to be 805. That used to be the area code in San Luis Obispo.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering about that. Yeah, I was checking you out. I was checking out a lot of your videos and what you've been doing. And yeah, I looked at your GoFundMe account, and there's like very few. I think I saw it was actually at zero. No one's actually giving.
Actually, there's
right now.
The GoFundMe is a new thing. Well, it's actually been live for like 45 days or something, and one person has donated so far. Our good buddy over at the Daily Dope Show, who last month was saying, "I wish I could donate something to you. Do such good work." And then this month he noticed the GoFundMe page, and that no one has actually contributed to it in 40 days. And he was good enough to kick something down from the Daily Dope Show on YouTube. So that was super nice of him. And if you guys get a chance, you should go check out the Daily Dope Show because he does good work.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Daily Dope Show?
The Daily Dope Show, yeah. Is there a reason that you went to the GoFundMe page but you didn't kick down?
Oh, I'm like a targeted man, so I really don't have that much. I don't have very much fun.
Yeah, I know how it is
right now.
I know.
So like a targeted individual, but in actuality, a targeted man, because I'm not an individual. I'm not a person or corporate fiction. I don't know if you heard about, the legal name fraud and all that.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. No.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm like one in a million because there's been a lot of synchronicities that I've found out about, my situation, because I'm actually from another country, but with an American. My father is American.
Uh-huh.
And there's two classes of people here in America. There's state citizens, and then there's U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens are not part of the United States of America. They're just a bunch of, if you consent to it, you're actually corporate fiction.
Okay.
Consent to the legal name, which is not a living man. And going back to basically being one in a million, my given name's Roger.
Right on, Roger.
Okay, and do you remember the Elliot Rodger shooting? Elliot Rodger, 22-year-old college student at UCSB.
No, I don't think so. How long ago was that?
I believe that was at the beginning of 2014.
No, I don't. Yeah, it sounds really familiar.
Okay. He did a shooting. Well, that turned out to be, if you look up Elliot Rodger on the net, you'll find out that he allegedly shot a couple of people and also stabbed some people. Well, that turned out to be him committing suicide turned out to be a hoax, because 5 days later, he was spotted, I believe, in Chicago, and the guy recorded his face, part of his face, and you can tell that it was actually him, and his actions by avoiding being recorded on the video cam, basically, pretty much makes it true. Anyway, going back.
Okay. All right, Roger. Thanks for calling. Nice to talk to you.
All right. Have a good one.
So, anyways, as I was saying, MOX-NEWS survives solely on donations from good people like yourself, and it's been a really hard road. And I really would wish I could just get like 1% of you. You know, if I had a little newsstand, or I had a little blanket set up on a busy corner, and where people were walking by, and I had a bunch of printed out news stories from all over the web, all over the whatever, like I do now. I have sources from all over different sources. And I was like, and people would walk by and be like, hey, did you see this story? Hey, did you see this story? And people like, and after a while, people would stop by and they'd be like, hey, news guy, what do you got for me today? And I'd say, oh, did you see this? Did you see this? And like, wow, thanks very much. I never would have seen that if it wasn't for you. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hey,
how's it going? Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Who is this?
My name's Thomas. I'm in Florida.
Hey, Thomas. Nice to hear from you. How's the weather in Florida today?
Oh, it's perfect at this time of year. Yeah.
Right on. It's raining here, but I like that.
Yeah, I heard it rains a lot in Washington. Is that true, or is that just the wise tale?
Nah, the bluest skies are in Seattle, man.
So, Fox, are you have you ever thought about running for Congress?
I think that I probably, it's really hard to get people to support, you know, and they want you to jump through these hoops, and there's nobody in Congress who looks like me. There's nobody who has a beard. There's nobody who has long hair. I don't want to go wear a tie every fucking day, you know. Those people, and I just don't think I could stand to be in the room with those people, because they're a bunch of criminals, and they're always shaking each other's hands and patting each other on the back like criminals do. And I just couldn't, you know, I would want to, you know, strangle them as opposed to shake their hands all the time, you know, and I would want to be calling them out, and I'd love to be there, because I feel like I could actually represent people, and I never feel like ever like I'm being represented in Congress. You know, there's nobody who's, you know, speaks the way I do about the things I do.
Yeah, but I think like Congress, I would vote for you. I don't know. I think we would be better off. Like some of the things that you're saying, you know, the meritocracy and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, it's because we really are in a red and blue country, so to say. It's like, can we like live our own lives but still live in the same communities? I guess is the question. Like, could you be part of a system with a safety net, but also if you're more libertarian, can people just leave you alone? But on the weekend, maybe you can hang out together or something. I mean, if we can figure that out, then we can save America and the world.
Again, we have to move beyond this red and blue thing. I mean, it's fine for you to vote for anybody you want to vote for. That's absolutely fine. I completely understand why people would vote for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton or whoever. I understand, you know, that you have this person somehow connects with you, you know. And that's fine, and you need, and it's okay, but you have to, after you understand that that's the person I'm voting for, you immediately have to switch to the mindset that that person is now your enemy, because there is no one in Congress who's representing you. Every one of these people, every congressperson, every president, the first thing that they do is they take a vow. They put their hand on a Bible and they swear an oath to God and to everyone in this country that they will defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And then they completely forget that oath. You know, they completely go against it. And if we can recognize that one thing, that they stand up in front of God and they put their hand on their holy Bible, you know, or whatever their religious book is, and they say, I swear I will protect the Constitution. And if we all look at that and recognize that they immediately break that vow, that they're not about protecting the Constitution at all, or any of our rights, then we can get together. Then we can all come together around that recognition, you know, and we can all realize who the enemy is. It's fine to vote for Donald Trump. It's fine to vote for Hillary Clinton, as long as you immediately recognize now that that person is in office, they are my enemy, because they ain't there for you and they ain't there to protect the Constitution, which should make them which makes them an enemy of the Constitution. So we're clear.
Yeah, and like I agree with you 100%. But I think like, so what do you think about in the news when they're trying to make it so like even calling something an enemy is forbidden, it's censored? Isn't that wrong? I mean, no one can be responsible. Like I can't tell someone to jump off a bridge, can I? I mean, you can't.
Of course,
I'm responsible for what I say and what I do, and you're responsible for what you say and what you do, right?
Of course, if you can go tell anyone to go take a long walk off a short pier, why can't you do that? Why can't you?
So,
go ahead.
Can I tell Congress to resign? Like, hey, you know what? You know, you broke your oath, or you're no good. We can see right through you. I mean,
okay,
you know.
Okay, this is great. This is a great question. So what's happening is the media and all the politicians are now, they're saying, oh, well, you know, we have to find a way back to civility, you know, and the only reason they're saying that is because they're afraid of the people. because the people are coming up to them now when they're in restaurants, when they're out. And the media is so afraid that they're next because oh, they did it to Sarah Sanders. I said it to Sarah Huckabee. You know, she's like a press. She's like part of the press. They could do it to us next. So the media is really concerned about you being civil and acting civil because they don't want you doing that to them in restaurants. And the politicians want you to be civil and act civil because and they're right to a certain extent. We want to act with a certain amount of decorum, which means we don't want to walk up and get in their faces and yell and scream at them. What we want to do is when they walk into a restaurant, you simply hiss or you boo, you know, just like, let's say the other day Mitch McConnell got harassed in some restaurant, right? You don't go up to him and start saying you're a fuckhead because you did. No, you just go boo, boo McConnell, boo, because and hopefully what will happen is that we'll all recognizing that that's our enemy. Yeah, we voted for that guy, but now he's our enemy. Then we can all join together and boo, boo Mitch McConnell. Because if we do that, or every time, you know, we see somebody sit down with, you know, they will not be able to enjoy their dinner. That will echo in their brain for days. Okay, and that's what we want. And you know why? Because if we don't act with a certain amount of decorum, they will begin to arrest us. But if we act with a certain amount of decorum and we just boo Mitch McConnell, then everyone can participate because you're not really making anybody uncomfortable because you're not getting in anybody's face. And the only person that should really be uncomfortable at that point is the politician. But if somebody's standing up and they're kind of acting threatening, it's going to make everybody uncomfortable. So, and then if they're not uncomfortable, they can agree, and it'd be easy for other people to join in then saying boo, and hopefully chase that guy right out of the restaurant because the restaurant doesn't want the whole restaurant going boo, boo, you know, and so it'd be really easy. We can all join together. And the real point of this is, you know, Rand Paul's wife says, oh, I have to sleep with a gun by my nightstand when I go to bed at night. Oh, yeah, I feel so sorry for Rand Paul's wife. You know, I started sleeping with a gun under my pillow when I was 12 years old. Okay, 357 Magnum. And I was with orders to shoot, you know, until there was no more bullets. Dead center, no more bullets. And then there was extra bullets in the nightstand. But this is the deal about Rand Paul's wife being afraid. And that is that government or people should not be afraid of their government. Government should be afraid of their people. And that's all there is to it. Because and this is the reason that they have us all divided down into these little groups. And having us like acting like we can't be civil towards each other, which we can. We just can't be civil towards the media because they're the ones who march us into wars of choice based on lies instead of doing their job and telling us, no, these people at the Pentagon are lying about aluminum tubes and yellow cake uranium. We don't actually have to go to Iraq and kill 1 million innocent Iraqis because they're the enemy. You know, they should fear us. And if we recognize that, then we can all come together and we can make the government fear us. And we can make the world the way we want it to be, as opposed to the way the rich people and the war profiteers want it to be. I do go on.
Cool. Well, hey, no, that's perfect. I mean, that's awesome, Mox. I hope you consider, I like what you might have more of an impact what you're doing now, but those are good ideas, way of being civil, but still, making a much more bigger impact because, we can show them that they're the ones who are being uncivilized, bringing us into unconstitutional wars. We're actually doing what's natural by hissing at something that you should hiss at or booing or whatever. So, yeah. So, well, good to talk to you, Mox. I'm sure I'll call in some other time, but yeah, I just saw you on here, and I love your channel, and I wish you the best success. I hope it grows. I hope people donate, and people just, you know, do me a favor, give a thumbs up or something in the chat if you think Mox should run for Congress. Hope you have a good day.
All right, thanks a bunch for calling, man. All right. So, and this is the thing, okay? He said maybe you can do more for the world in the position that you're in now, as opposed to running for Congress or something like that. And this is my point about, you know, oh, you're like, oh, go and get a job, you dirty hippie. You know, I believe I can do more for the world doing this than delivering pizzas or selling bud as a bud tender somewhere. Okay, I believe that. I believe that I'm actually doing right by the world and trying really hard and putting a lot of effort, tens of thousands of hours to do right by the world. And when you hear it in the people's voices, when we do the call-in shows, people are like, yeah, thank you so much for what you do. And this guy, like he just said, he said, I think maybe you could do, you will do more for the world in the position that you're in now, as opposed to running for Congress. This is what I'm saying. I can do more for the world here than I can off at a job somewhere. Okay? So, and it's up to you guys to decide, you know what? I want MOX-NEWS here for the 2020 election. I really appreciate the work that Mox does. I want to buy that guy lunch once a month. $5 once a month would be like spectacular of you. That would be super generous. That's all I ever ask for, is if you guys could kick down money for lunch. You know? I mean, I've never come out here and say, I've got an abscessed tooth and it's going to cost $1,600 to get fixed. Can you guys help out with that? I've never done that to you. In 14 years, I've never done anything like that to you. I simply said, if you would kick down $5 for lunch, that would be really super nice of you. And then I go back to work and work and work and work and work and work for you for $5 that 99.9% of you never, ever even kicked down. And it doesn't matter, because I'm not about money. I don't care. I'm never going to be rich. I'm about doing the right thing and being of value to you and to the community of which you are a part of. And I can't, and everything takes money in this world. I hate money. I don't hate having to ask for help, because I've been taught it's okay to ask for help. There's no shame in it. It's fine. As long as you can accept the answer no, there's no foul in asking for help. And especially if you're doing something, you know, beneficial to everyone, it's okay to ask for help. So I ask for help. And day after day, I get none. Day after day, month after month, I get none. And I come out and I do this work and I do this work and I do this work, because it's not about me getting money. I could make a lot more money as a bud tender somewhere. A lot more money as a bud tender. But I think that I'm of more value to the world here. And that's what really matters. Is anybody out there? No one's calling. Hello, callers. Anybody out there? Is there anybody in there? It's 805-669-6397. That's 805 MOX-NEWS. Why aren't you calling? All right, fine. Don't want to talk to me? again, I'm just trying to do what's right, and I believe in you guys. I've told you again and again how I don't call you sheep. I don't say you're asleep. I don't say that you're zombies or whatever. I've told you I think you're the people that are going to save the world, because you kind of have to be. And that's why we're here. That's why you're here. You came here to MOX-NEWS because you're smart people. Because you're seeking something, seeking knowledge. MOX-NEWS provides a stream, a never-ending stream of bits of knowledge. That's what I do, day in, day out, whether I get tipped or not. I come out here and do this and do it and do it because, again, this is how I believe I can be the most benefit to the world. And you hear the callers. You know, I've never talked to one of these people before. I don't know any of them, but they know me. They know my work. You can hear they sense my genuineness. They sense my intention to do the right thing. And, you know, okay, if I don't get a caller in the next 60 seconds, this show is officially over. 805-669-6397. Let's hear it. Let's hear that phone ringing. 805-669-6397. The clock is ticking. See? Tick, 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 tick. Nobody's going to call? Really? All right. Well, there's no reason to do a call-in show if no one's going to call. I can sit in front of the camera and record videos and just upload those. But I want to do some Christmas stuff coming up. I have a idea to do a cannabis Christmas gifts kind of thing, because you know, cannabis legalization is new to so many people around the world. I want to say congratulations to my Canadian brothers and sisters. I love my Canadians and brothers and sisters, and I want to encourage them to exercise their newfound freedom to its fullest extent, and I will do that more and more over the coming days. So I guess we didn't get a phone call in 60 seconds, and being a man of my word, I want to say thanks very much to all of you for tuning in, and thanks for watching the MOX-NEWS videos, and hope that you find something of value in my work, and stay cool. One of these days this war is going to end. Got to end one of these days. Stay cool till that day.